they just open up and they feel comfortable. And he's got that personality. That's something that I think that it's just in him. It's from God. Great person, lovable person, caring person, a person that's considerate, that sees the story you can see from your side. I'm not sure what the word is. Empathy.
Empathy.
But someone that can see the world, your world, from your side without judging you. And that's something I learned from Dominique, because I used to be heavily judgmental. But as you mature in life, one thing you learn is you don't judge. You learn a lot, and I'm the least judgmental person you run into. I've become a likable person myself over the years, and I just think sometimes we meet people in this life that are meant to teach us things that we don't know. And I think Dominique's been a great friend and teacher and influence on myself.
Cool vibes, my brother.
Yeah,
cool
that's
vibes.
what I can tell you about Dominique.
Cool vibes.
Sharp. He was a young black guy, and I wasn't coming from where I come from. I wasn't used to seeing young black people own anything. That's just where I come from, and I know it's been going on all over that young black people own a lot of things, a lot of places. America doesn't show enough of that, which is that's just that's just the way it is. But it's changing, give or take. And I saw him, and I approached him and asked him. I used to ask people questions I should know the answer to myself. I used to not have the confidence that I have today. And you build confidence through a lot of trial and error. You build confidence through tribulation and things like that. But I asked him, do you think if I open a business, it'll make money? And, he was looking out the window. He had his hands like this at the time. His barber chair was turned around facing the window. I could just see the side of his face. And he said, scared money don't make money.
Wow.
And for some odd reason, that
Day, you rocking out with the one and only phillydom. I'm out here in Georgia. When I go inside, I'll let you know where I'm at in Georgia. But I'm here to see a friend, family down here in Georgia as well. So I'm here. Today we're gonna go check out a good friend of mine. This is his business right here. But we're gonna go inside, we let him talk about it. Me and this guy got a lot of history. Let's go inside. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
It's my brother from a different mother right here.
Welcome.
Yeah.
How are y'all doing?
That's what's going on, man. Let them know your name, let them know where you from.
My name is Cliff.
Yeah.
I am from Miami, and I work at PhoneRush in Georgia. We repair phones, we repair tablets, anything that's a mobile device, any mobile device, Androids, iPhones. I'm the doctor.
He's the doctor, the phone doctor. So if you crack your screens, he do all that. Everything, man. I knew this guy forever, man. Me and this guy go back. Man, how long we go back, man?
We go back to, let's start like 2001.
Yeah.
2001. Walgreens 2001. So
Walgreens,
that's 23 years.
Yeah, you always hear me talk about Walgreens.
This is my brother from another mother.
Yeah, that's what we always say. And this is his shop right here. And where we at? What part of Georgia? I just told him I was in Georgia.
We're in a small part of Georgia. It's outside of Atlanta. Usually when we go out of town, we say Atlanta, but this is called Austell. Austell was considered country about 15 years ago, but it's becoming a little more metropolitan.
Okay.
And they kind of take offense when you call it country, but it's still a country, but this is Austell.
Wow, still okay.
Yeah.
And how long has the business been open for?
This business opened the day I found out my wife was pregnant in 2010. So July 24th, 2010. The same day I was opening, she announced to me that day that she was also, we were having a child. Wow. So it was, yeah, that's how I remember.
So the store is open the same exact time that your wife, you found out your wife was pregnant.
The same exact time and day, like
Okay,
the grand opening. So it was, I remember the day I was happy. And it was just a lot going on, but you can't forget a day like that. So it made it very significant. So we've been open, and we evolved from a store that sold just pre-owned phones.
Okay.
In the beginning, the whole idea was to sell pre-owned phones, as I had done on eBay before.
Okay.
Did pretty good on eBay in the early eBay days. If anybody's ever sold on eBay, you know that eBay was it in 07, 08. You could set up shop on day one, and you'd be doing very well by the end of the month.
Okay.
Like $10,000, $20,000 well.
Wow.
It's different now. I mean, a lot of things have changed with eBay, but eventually eBay began to change a lot of their rules, and a lot of their leadership changed, which led a lot of sellers to go away. Like myself, and I opened the store because one thing about work is you need security.
Yes, indeed.
Security is one major part of anybody's job. You got to be able to sleep at night, and wake up knowing you're gonna have a way to make your bread in the morning. So I opened the store, having already had experience with selling phones, having already had experience with dealing with customers my whole life. Starting with Eckert's.
Eckert's, okay.
I think I'm showing my age there, but if anybody remembers Eckert's, and then from Eckert's to Walgreens, and from Walgreens to my own thing. But having a lot of experience with dealing with people, customers, and learning how to deal with retail stores, that environment, I went and opened the store. And to my surprise, it did well. The first 5 years, and I think anybody that's in business or that's starting the business can identify with the first 5 years not always being peas and carrots.
They're not peas and
a little
carrots,
Forrest Gump reference, but peas and carrots. The first 5 years were rough.
Okay.
It was good. Some were good. Some, some you couldn't. Yeah. But now we're popular in the area. The name of the store, if you Google it online, is Phone Rush.
Phone Rush. Yeah.
We still sell on eBay occasionally, but here we do mostly repairs now. We evolved from a store that sells used phone to a store that mostly does repairs and now sells used phone as well. But our primary function is repairs.
Okay.
Repair, recycling, that type of industry.
Do you sell on Amazon?
Amazon
Can't you do refurbish? Can you do refurbish?
You can do. Amazon's a bit more complicated. Okay. Anybody that does online retail that
shout out to Master
Amazon's
Wayne.
a great place to sell, but there's a lot of rules. There is a lot of barriers to entry that eBay just doesn't have.
Okay.
So you can set up on eBay today, and now it might take you a week. In the first beginning with eBay, now it'll take you a week to get your money. In 07, you started today, you sold the item today, you got the money today through PayPal.
Yeah.
You got it when you needed it.
Yeah.
Now it's for safety measures, a lot of things have happened over the years that caused them to change the way they do business. So you get your money in a week, within 7 days, and then they'll eventually shorten that to 2 days. As you begin to build trust and show that you can ship items out on time and that your descriptions match what you're actually selling. And I think that's fair because you don't want to run people away from a marketplace by misrepresenting items or having malicious people come join the site just to make a couple of dollars quick today and then disappear tomorrow.
Okay.
I do get that.
Okay. And what's the hardest thing you would say about opening your first business? And what's the best thing about opening your business?
A good question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with the best thing.
Yeah, what's the best thing?
The best thing is that it's yours.
Yeah.
And even if you don't start off making all the money in the world, you're doing something. You're doing something that you want to do. And when you're doing what you want to do, I can honestly tell you, it doesn't feel like work.
Okay.
And the worst thing, or the hardest thing, I'm gonna say, the hardest thing I've learned. It's not really running the business. It's trusting in your abilities.
Okay.
Trusting in you. Even though the best thing about it is that it's yours, growing into trusting your abilities and trusting yourself is the only way you can truly move forward. You have to be able to trust that your decisions or trust your efforts, or trust your abilities to do whatever it is you're doing.
Okay.
You know, no matter what it is. I think we got somebody coming.
That's good.
Okay, he's actually just passing by.
Passing by, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you said that you talked about the best thing, the worst thing. Are you hiring? Are you training people to do this type of work?
Always training.
Always
training, and always hiring with this type of business. And most of the people that we train end up to go on to open do their own thing, their own business, because it's not. A lot of it's having to deal with the keys.
Okay.
And those keys come from having either learned them or gained them through experience, or you can have a mentor and you can get 10 years or 15 years worth of experience in 2 years, which is, if I could do it over again, that's something I would have done to shorten the trajectory of me getting from where I am to where I want to be.
Okay.
Is mentorship, but a lot of the people that we work with, some stay, and they have no interest in having their own thing, and that's just them. It's different folks, different strokes for different folks, different things for everybody.
Okay.
If it works for you, it works for you.
Okay.
You need somebody for everything.
Cool vibes. If somebody, because I'm a travel vlogger, if somebody was coming to Atlanta, what would you tell them? Where is Cliff's places? Where would you tell them to go, like restaurants or anywhere to hang out? Anything that you know. I know you're a busy man. You're always working.
Yeah.
We working.
Yeah.
But where's a good place for people to hang out, or any restaurant in a nice neighborhood or somewhere for somebody to go to? I always try to give people plugs. Yeah.
I'm gonna give some of my favorite places, and if you're a vegetarian, you may not like me very much, but you actually might. I take that back. One of my favorite places to go, in Atlanta, hands down, is a Brazilian restaurant called Fogo de Chao.
Fogo de Chao. Oh yeah, they all good. Wow. I had that in Brazil.
Yeah, and it used to be for $50.
Yeah.
A person, provided you don't order drinks.
Yeah.
Provided you don't order drinks, you get some of them grilled, top shelf meats, cut fresh off the grill.
Yep.
Right in front of you onto a plate. Different ones. You can go from steak, you can go to lamb, or you can have chicken. I mean, but I don't typically go there to eat chicken. I want the lamb, I want the steak. Different other meats I probably can't even pronounce.
Yeah.
Also,
see, that's a plug, everybody.
Their salad bar is amazing at Fogo de Chao. So I guess, like I said, the vegetarians might like me.
Yeah.
On that one. They even have smoked salmon at the salad bar. I don't know if that's a vegetarian thing or not, but I guess it's dealing with an animal. So
some of them be like they pescatarians.
Yeah, some of them
pescatarians. Got all these different things.
But the salad bar is loaded.
Okay. Sometimes
I go there and just get a really nice salad. It's wild paying $50 for a really nice salad, but the atmosphere, and of course, I don't mind good drinks and good company, great conversation, that type of atmosphere.
Yeah.
Restaurant is more than just the money. It's an experience. You get a full experience.
Yeah.
And particularly go to the one in Buckhead.
Okay, Buckhead. Not Bunkhead, Buckhead. You gotta let them know. Yeah. I had to learn too. I had to learn about that too. Bunkhead. What's the difference between Buckhead and Bunkhead, and then talk about Bunkhead?
You mean Bankhead?
Bankhead. Yeah.
Buckhead is particularly is more developed and is more tourist friendly.
Okay.
And we'll just leave it that way.
Okay.
Bankhead is a little bit different. I think Bankhead is made famous by one of our rappers in Atlanta. Famous rap. I'm sure everybody knows. If you don't know Clifford Harris, T.I. Everybody knows T.I. Bankhead is I grew up in a place like Bankhead in Miami, somewhere like that. But if you live there, that's great. But if you want to come visit, you want to go somewhere. You want to go somewhere like Buckhead.
Okay. And the weather. I guess the weather is good down here.
I mean,
I'm trying to get people to travel here. The weather. What's the weather situation? Because it's hot now.
Yeah, it's hot now. Even when it's cold. One thing I love about Georgia. I'm from Florida.
Yeah.
Miami, Florida. Actually, Homestead,
Homestead, to
Florida,
be
but
exact.
nobody knows where that
But
is.
it's right outside of Miami, guys.
We'll give y'all Miami.
It's South Miami. Once you're in South Miami.
Yeah, South Miami. We call it South Miami.
If you're from Kendall or
Dade County.
the Kendall area, like you
Yeah.
close, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you. I forgot where I was at. I lost myself there.
Oh, no, I was asking about I said about the weather situation.
Oh, the weather, yeah.
Weather situation.
Well, the weather in Florida. When you come from Florida,
yeah.
you're used to it being tropical all the time.
Okay.
It's always hot all the time. You get used to that.
Yeah.
From a tropical place, you pretty much, when you first come to Georgia, it might initially feel cold, like during the winters. Summer months is not really hot. Winter months, like now that I've been here for a while, since 2006, it's never really cold, and it's never really hot. Georgia weather is always fluctuating. Like it's supposed to be completely hot right now, but it's nippy in the mornings.
Okay.
And sometimes during the winter months, it stays hot longer than it usually does. I don't know if that has to do anything to do with global warming, if that's a myth or whatever, but I'm kind of starting to believe that's real.
Yeah.
But the weather is
real.
Yeah, the weather is always nice.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one thing I can say about Georgia. It's not always cold when that's rare when it's cold, and if it's hot, that's also rare. The weather's almost always nice.
Okay. So even in January, February, December, November, the weather's pretty
The weather's
good.
almost always nice. You can dress light. Like I got on long sleeves today, but it's not hot, and it's not cold. And I'm a house cat. I stay indoors, mostly doing almost everything, whether it's the gym or going to work or being like inside. I only come out at night when I do come out. I know that sounds crazy, but Atlanta has a really nice nightlife.
Okay.
Coming from Miami, with nightlife oriented.
Yeah.
Anybody from a place like Miami, you understand that Miami is a nightlife place, and you become accustomed to night living or coming out to places that open in the night.
Okay. The cost of living here. I remember back in the day, the cost of living was cheap here.
Yeah. When I first came, the cost of living for a 2-bedroom, I'm gonna say 640 square feet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 700 square feet. 700 square feet was $540.
Okay.
And this is in a place like Athens. Eventually, I moved to Smyrna, or Smyrna.
Smyrna.
S-M-Y-R-N-A.
Yeah.
You never get that right. The rents for a nice 2-bedroom in a decent area, which it is, it's even more decent now. It was like $840.
$840.
That was the early Atlanta. That was 2007, 2008 Atlanta, 2009 Atlanta.
Okay.
2010 Atlanta. I'm gonna say up to 2000, maybe 2012.
Yeah.
Up to 2012. I'm not sure when Atlanta changed.
Yeah.
But Atlanta, it happened slowly over time.
Okay.
But right now, we know that those same places, like if you were to go, for example, in Athens, that same place would be $1,200
Okay.
for that same 2-bedroom. And if you were to go in Smyrna, the average 2-bedroom is going to run you $1,500-$1,600, which is
Okay.
not bad. That's actually good right now.
Yeah.
Considering some places are, places like California, New York, Miami.
Yeah.
That's actually good.
Okay.
And in the industry.
That's all right.
Yeah.
So we back with the one and only Cliff, aka Phone Rush.
Hello, thank you.
Yes, black-owned business, man. This guy's modest, man. He's my boy forever. He's modest. Black-owned business. He started this. Him and his wife, y'all started together, obviously.
From scratch, yeah.
From scratch.
Man. Yeah.
From scratch.
Yeah.
From scratch.
Yeah.
From scratch, man.
My degree was originally in psychology.
And when I told you you're going to be broke doing that, I told him.
He told me.
I said you was broke doing that, yo.
Oh my God. I don't want to believe.
Yeah, I ain't trying to hate. I was just
But
saying, they ain't no money.
I mean, it was a reality. It was
Yeah, you
reality.
gotta go to school forever.
I'm just going to be honest. But that doesn't mean that's going to be your reality.
Yeah.
If you're out studying for psychology, go get the full degree, get the doctorate, get the master's.
Yeah, then you
I
can-
had no intentions of being in school that long. Back when I was in school, back in the earlier, before social media connected and information became prevalent everywhere, we believed that a degree, any degree, made you rich. Especially when you grew up the way I grew up, which is having nothing.
Yeah.
Like grew up not having anything. We're told that go to school, graduate, go to college, get a job.
Yeah.
And when you're poor, I guess that does move you up a social class.
Yeah.
And for some people, that's good. That's actually good. I wouldn't even look down on that. That's back when 40,000 was a livable income.
Yeah.
Some people may be able to identify with me on that, and now that's frowned upon because the value of the dollar has dropped significantly.
Yeah.
And back then, a dollar spent like, and we're talking about 1996, 1997. A dollar spent like $3.
Mm-hmm.
You get $3 out of $1.
Wow.
And now you probably get 30 cents.
So
it's different, but I can understand why it was that way. You go to school, you get a degree. That was the mantra. That was what we were taught. That was the information, the understanding that was passed down. You go to school, you get a degree, you're good. You could raise a family off 40,000 back then. But obviously times have changed. And God has just been good to me. I've had a lot of good things happen that I can't honestly attribute to myself. But they say, when you play the game with skill, good luck will happen.
Okay.
But you have to be in the game.
Okay.
You have to be in the game. And that's the one thing I've learned. You have to be in the game. No matter what it was, I stay outside in the game.
Yeah.
I play the game to play for real. I stay outside.
Okay.
Doing the best I can with whatever it is that you do. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
That's all right. Do you have any advice for any of the young guys coming up? Because you're a black guy. You made it. You from the South. You grew up in not the best conditions you wanted to, and you elevated yourself, and you elevated yourself, you elevated yourself. What you think was your recipe for success? Because you have this business for what, over 14 years, around 14 years. So you made it. You made it.
And I'm gonna be honest, it's not some mysterious recipe.
Okay.
Put in work. And that's really it. I wish I could tell you a lot of different things, do this, do that. Just wake up and whatever it is you do, just try to do the best at it and learn as much as you can. That was something that I think I didn't do earlier on that I did later on that actually made the business very profitable.
Okay.
Very profitable. Is read a lot of books. Now that they have ebooks.
Yeah. The books online.
Yep. Hold on one second. I have to actually call in an order while
Okay.
we're on the live. Hang on one second.
All right, we'll do it together. I ain't gonna stop
I'm
recording.
gonna call in this order while we're on live. I'm actually calling another company.
Okay.
We're operating now.
Thank you for calling Info Gadget. How can I help you?
Hey, it's Cliff from phone-rush Austell. I'm calling to pick up to call in. I believe 2, maybe 3 order numbers. Hang tight for one moment. I'm gonna. Okay, here we go. First order number is 91840. The second order number is 91795.
The grind is deadly.
And I'm
as you
not
can see.
sure
The grind is
if
deadly.
order number
Welcome to Atlanta, Georgia.
91022 has been picked up already, but if it has already, disregard that one.
Okay.
Okay, hang on.
You having an Uber?
Yes, I have a Uber. I think Uber that's in parking space P3.
Okay.
Okay, and I have another order number for a partner store. Okay, let's
Doing
see
his
here.
thing. Doing his thing.
That order
What you
number
see
is
boom.
91746.
This is it. This is the store.
All right, thank you. You have a wonderful day. All right, bye.
Oh, okay, that was easy.
Yeah, we get a lot of parts same day because in this industry, sometimes you don't know what phone is coming in. It's hard to tell. There's so many different phones, so many different models. And our thing is trying to get the phone back to you the same day.
Okay.
So every day we're ordering these unique parts for different issues or problems that happen with phones.
Okay.
And thank God for Uber same day delivery. This is
Yeah.
something I think the Postal Service should have capitalized on a long time ago,
Yeah.
but I think they still should.
Yeah.
But they'll go pick up an item from one place and transport it to another place for you for like $20-$30. And that helps us get a lot of same day repairs done, whereas a lot of other stores are having to wait 3 or 4 days. They're ordering it, in some parts we do have to order online and have it shipped 2 or 3 days. But for the most part, we have partnered with a very large organization that is happens to not be too far away from from where we operate at, which is like I say, sometimes it's another luck, just luck. Not too far from where I operate, and we can get the same parts same day.
Okay.
And if not same day, one day.
Okay.
Which is still good. But my thing is to get your phone back the same day and not,
for you to wait.
Because we live in a world now, a microwave society, where things have to be done.
They want it
now.
Here, right now. They don't want it now.
Right.
I'm
known for getting it done now.
Yeah.
The average repair time for any phone here is about 15-20 minutes. If it's a phone that needs surgery, like a deep surgery, like something's going on with the motherboard, we have to lift the motherboard, we're talking about 2 days, maybe 3 days. And in rare cases, 7 days. It can, depending on the complexity of what's going on with the phone. But there's very little that we can't repair, and that's a good thing. Because I also partner with other people that have different abilities. For example, we have an internalist that does the motherboard work, that splits motherboards, that does soldering, micro soldering for our company. We work together, and a lot of orders that come through us flow right to him.
Okay.
You have to partner with a lot of other. You have to partner a lot to do from in my experience, to do well in business. Partnering is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's actually
you can't make it
can
alone.
make you more powerful.
So you can't make it alone, because some people, they make it and they get successful and they don't want to.
No man is an island.
Yeah. You need a partner.
You need a partner. And partner with as many trustworthy sources that you can, that are reliable.
Okay.
Strong word, reliability, and trustworthy.
Okay.
Yeah. Reliable and trustworthy, that's just one of the things that's doing it for me. That's helping.
Trustworthy and reliable.
Trustworthy and reliable.
Another question here I wanted to ask you. You ever think about doing like a master class? Because you have 14 years in. I've seen this guy work. We ain't got no customers in here right now, but I've seen him work, and he works really fast, and he knows what he's doing. I feel like you could pass this off to some youngsters out there. Maybe they don't want to go to college and stuff like that. Maybe they just want to go into the work world. This is definitely a good way to generate money.
And that's a good thing. I'm glad you asked that question. And the truth is yes.
Yeah.
We held a master's class in 2020.
Okay.
Where we took in 10 people and we taught them how to repair just basic phone repair. That's first level. We haven't held another class since. There's a lot in organizing the class and that I didn't know, and creating a syllabus, working around times that people have to go to work to maintain their lives versus doing nighttime learning. It was a test run that in my mind it worked one way. In reality, it didn't go totally terrible. It was $3,500 a person. It ended up being an 8-week course.
Okay.
And we basically teach you the basics. We give you the keys that I have gathered over process, trial and error.
Okay.
Over the years, and I'm able to give it out. Give you the direct everything that I sifted down to the core. I'm able to give you the core of what it took me 10 years to get in just a few weeks, as far as getting the basics down for repair, just enough to get you started making good money. We are redesigning another course, and this time I'm doing what's called infrastructure. I'm designing the infrastructure of the course to consider things like parents, people that work daytime jobs, people that work nighttime too, and then the amount of weeks, the amount of hours that each course will be, to get the information and to digest it in make good progress in a relatively short period of time.
Okay.
And that's I think the core of the way I'm designing it now, is to help people make good progress in a relatively short, reasonable period of time. Reasonable progress and reasonable timing.
Okay. Do you see this becoming a franchise? Like later, do you want to franchise it? Like, start putting them all over Atlanta and putting them other places?
We are in the works right now, literally in the process. And that's the next thing that I'm also learning as an entrepreneur, is dealing with human capital. And what I mean by human capital is managing people or helping people to help you.
Okay.
Selecting the right people and putting them in the right position to run a store in a reliable way, something that they can handle, because these stores can get pretty busy. You can run into a lot of scenario situations that aren't in the books.
Okay.
And you've got to be able to think on your feet really quickly.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't just want to open another store just for the sake of opening it. I needed to learn fundamentals so that it wouldn't be a flop. So I spent a lot of time learning and taking mentorship. And we should be opening our next location this summer, by the end of July.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right. And where do you see this the business you have like in the next 10 years? Will it keep expanding? Like, not just you, but the phone business. Where do you see it going in the next 10 years? Phone refurbishment business. Will you think it'll be still similar to this, or what is the situation?
That's a good question. Here's the thing.
Because you've been 14 in, so
technology changes.
I know.
In
That's
the
what I was
most
thinking.
Unpredictable ways.
Yeah.
Every 5 years. I mean, look at Blockbuster.
Man, they had to go out of business.
Netflix did come to them first before they frowned upon Netflix and laughed at them. I do see phones being around. I do see mobile devices not going away. And I do foresee the evolution of mobile devices and mobile devices changing form and changing how there's some things I can't see as well, but with any industry, you can only hope that in the next 10 years that you'll be doing business the same way, and if not, you grow and change as your industry changes. And that's one thing I can guarantee you that I'm going to do is adapt, grow, and change as the industry changes.
Because you've been here.
I can guarantee you that.
Okay, because you've been here from the beginning,
right? And
I know it was different when you started to now.
Right. Those are variables I can control.
Okay.
Adapting and changing, and that's one thing I'm guaranteed to give maximum effort towards, and that's something that I think this company does very well. Is adapt and change with the rhythm and the flows and the times and the changes. In technology, like we went from flip phone to flat screen, went from BlackBerry to Palm Trio to iPhone. Been through it all.
That's all right. That's all right, man.
So I think in 10 years, I do see this company continue to grow, but I also have aspirations to do other things like land, move into the land business, buying land. Not just staying pigeonholed into one industry, but as an entrepreneur, your mind begins to open in regions and places where you start to see opportunities that you couldn't see them before. And I'm starting to see opportunities in the land business and tiny homes. But I'm not going to talk too much about that.
That was the joy of this power when he gave you tiny homes. Oh, wow. What could you tell them about me? Yeah, guys, I'm talking about me now. Because this guy knew me before YouTube. He knew phillydom a long time. Anything you want to tell him about me? I don't even know what he's going to say. Off the dome. It's my brother from another mother.
Dominique is one of the best people you will ever meet. If anybody dislikes Dominique, you dislike it. You probably dislike the what's this guy? You don't like anybody. You have to not love yourself. No, Dominique's I met Dominique back in 2007 at Walgreens. I was a college student, a struggling college student.
You gotta let them know where you went to school, man. Let them know where you went to school.
I went to school at Florida Memorial University in Florida. And we just had a conversation. Upon the first conversation, I realized that, man, this guy's like my brother. And he's my brother from another mother. A lot of the patterns that I think in, Dominique thinks in, we have a lot in common. We're just brothers. Like we're really one person. Like you put us together. There's no separate. Even over the course of 23 years, there are some people that have friendships where you don't have to see the person every day. But you remain closer than some people you see every day. If that makes any sense. Some people that may resonate with you, but if you haven't found that type of friendship yet, hopefully you do. And I think that's a gift from God. That's not something you come across every day, a lifelong friend. That's your brother. I learned a lot from Dominique over the years, and Dominique has also been a good mentor because Dominique understands people better than I do, and that was something I had issues with earlier in life is people. I used to be afraid of people. understanding people. And Dominique just has what's called the gift of gab. He can walk up and talk to anybody, and they just open up and they feel comfortable. And he's got that personality. That's something that I think that it's just in him. It's from God. Great person, lovable person, caring person, a person that's considerate, that sees the story you can see from your side. I'm not sure what the word is. Empathy.
Empathy.
But someone that can see your world from your side without judging you. And that's something I learned from Dominique, because I used to be heavily judgmental. But as you mature in life, one thing you learn is you don't judge. You learn a lot, and I'm the least judgmental person you run into. I've become a likable person myself over the years, and I just think sometimes we meet people in this life that are meant to teach us things that we don't know. And I think Dominique's been a great friend and teacher and influence on myself.
Cool vibes, my brother.
Yeah,
cool
that's
vibes.
what I can tell you about Dominique.
Cool vibes, man. Anything else you want to tell them about this neighborhood? What made you pick this area to be your store, like in this neighborhood? Because you could have picked anywhere in Georgia, anywhere in Atlanta, Georgia. What you was living in this area?
I was living in a town called Powder Springs.
Powder Springs,
about 10 minutes away from Austell.
Okay,
maybe 15 traffic. But I knew from the atmosphere that was going on with the online marketplace and the changes that was happening with eBay and the lack of stability that the sellers had in that marketplace, that it was time to move on to something different, time to get something more stable. I had just bought a new house.
Okay.
I had just had got 2 dogs.
Okay.
And I didn't know we were pregnant at the time.
Yeah.
As well. So I mean, I've got the whole thing happening all at once. Oh, we had just bought a new car too.
Okay. So it was a lot going on.
Right. It was a lot going on. So I began to look for a way to adapt and change, to find a new way to do something that I've always been doing, which is phones. Selling phones, used phones. We didn't have phone repair in mind at that time, but the goal was I said, if I can do it on eBay, I can bring what I do on eBay to a local town. We can do this in a local town. And I just drove around. Most people go on the internet and look for places, and I saw a for rent sign in that window.
Boom, right there.
And I saw for rent signs in a lot of other windows, but I called the landlord, and I know that he was asking one price, and I was asking another price. I won't tell you the price.
Yeah.
And he said no.
He said, I thought he was gonna say yes. He said no. Yeah.
And so I went back home and I began working, but I couldn't get. I mean, there was a lot of other properties I looked at, but this one was right by a major road. It's in a plaza with a gas station.
That you guys saw earlier, yeah.
It has other businesses in the plaza. And I came back again, and I went upstairs. There was this barbershop upstairs called Upstairs Barbershop. It's owned by a guy named Gino, who I call the King of Austell.
Okay.
One of the leaders, one of the guys that I looked up to that encouraged me to open my own. Yeah.
Okay, we back. Here we go.
Oh, okay.
What you saying?
So
Gino.
I went upstairs and I met with a barber. The first time meeting him, he owned the Upstairs Barbershop. He was a young black guy, and I wasn't coming from where I come from. I wasn't used to seeing young black people own anything. That's just where I come from, and I know it's been going on all over that young black people own a lot of things, a lot of places. America doesn't show enough of that, which is that's just that's just the way it is. But it's changing, give or take. And I saw him, and I approached him and asked him. I used to ask people questions I should know the answer to myself. I used to not have the confidence that I have today. And you build confidence through a lot of trial and error. You build confidence through tribulation and things like that. But I asked him, do you think if I open a business, it'll make money? And he was looking out the window. He had his hands like this at the time. His barber chair was turned around facing the window. I could just see the side of his face. And he said, scared money don't make money.
Wow.
And for some odd reason, that simple phrase resonated with me. I had the money to open it.
There you go. Okay. You had the money in the
Yeah,
savings.
my wife and I had the money to open the shop in the savings, but I was scared. I was scared to pull the trigger. I didn't want to lose that money. But at the same time, that money could do me no good if I didn't take a risk. So I had to make a decision. I'd rather lose that money taking a risk than to lose it any other way.
Okay.
I'd rather lose it trying to multiply it than to bury it. Like there's a story of the 5 talents. Some people may know this story. One man buried his talents. One man took his talents and made 2 more. One man made a lot more. If I'm telling the story correct, but either way, when the guy that gave him when the guy that gave each one of them talents came, he asked each one what they did with his talents. One man squandered his, the other man buried his, and I think one man buried his, and the man that did the most with his, he told the 2 that had the least to give all theirs to the guy that had more.
Okay.
So the guy that had actually made an attempt, that had actually he made the effort to do more with the little that he had. He was blessed with more. And I just figured there's just a lot of things came to mind at that moment, and I just took the step. I leaped, and it worked out. It worked out. So fear is something that I realize is an impediment, is one of the things that hold most people back, including myself. It's still something that I deal with on different levels, because it comes in different levels, but each day, with each everything I do, you learn to overcome it. You learn to just take faith, leaps of faith. Sometimes you have to leap, but I did make sure it was a calculated leap. I did measure some things out. I did advertisements. I handed out advertisements as much as possible. I walked up and down the street handing out my flyers. People treated me like I'm homeless. Sometimes they would roll up the window while I was coming towards the car as if, you got to go through that when you want something. You got to go through that embarrassment sometimes, the shame, the pain, being treated like, trying to promote your business. Sometimes you're going to get crapped on when you're out there trying to promote it, but you have to pay your dues in shame and pain sometimes. And if you're not willing to deal with that, you have to, it's going to be hard to have anything. And I'm at this point, I'm not afraid to deal with the emotion of shame. It's just an emotion. I'm not going to let an emotion hold me back. And pain is something you have to grow through. You have to surface through it. Being turned away, knocking on different doors, handing out my flyers, getting kicked out of neighborhoods, being told you can't do that here. And I understand. I do get it. Soliciting is, but you got to get out there. You got to put yourself out there.
You're gonna be successful.
Get out there. Don't be afraid of shame. Don't be afraid of the pain that's going to come with it. Don't be afraid of the rejection that's going to come with it. It's the universe, I find, takes payments in pain. It rewards you with all the things you want.
That's deep. Yeah.
That's my experience. It might, it may not be yours. Some people have different paths. Everybody walks a different path, but that's the path I walk. I paid in a lot of pain. There's a lot of different things I couldn't tell you about now in the process of getting it from A to B. But the payments, man, it's paid in full. And I probably got other payments to make, but I'm willing to pay them. I'm willing to pay whatever price to get to where I need to be, to fulfill my purpose.
All right. We're going to hear more from Phone Rush. I ain't even going to call him Cliff. I'm going to call him Phone Rush.
Thank you all. Love.
Love. He's going to be in a whole bunch of videos. He's going to take me around Atlanta and stuff. So
we're going to go all around Atlanta and just, live and just have fun, be free. Just, we're going to go all around Atlanta and explore.
Okay.
And see what's out there. While we're living, we're going to live.
Yeah, because, you hear a lot of funny stuff about coming out of Atlanta. So we're going to check into it.
Right. Right.